And as I say, we're going to focus this morning on some of our recent release features from the FlashStart cloud. So without any further ado, Francesco, do you just want to start the slides rolling?
Yeah, for sure.
And we're going to have a few slides to position a few things, and then we're going to roll into a technical demo going through the setup, looking at those features, and showing you how easy it is for you to engage and resell FlashStart, or as an end user to deploy this. So let's just progress to the next slide, which is the button I want to do that. Okay, excellent. So about FlashStart, we're very proud today to be operating in almost 90 countries as of this morning, filtering about 1.2 billion clicks every day. This is a DNS-based technology. It's all in the cloud. It is made to be low cost and affordable for everyone. It is our goal to make this a very affordable, pervasive technology, and from some of the poorest parts of the world in Asia through to the USA, we are finding that this is affordable and this is very competitive, and it does exactly what we claim it to do. You please be the judge of that. Applicable for all industries, and we are delighted at the continuous press coverage we have about our capabilities and the performance of our cloud. Let's progress. So I'd like to just emphasize, FlashStart is only sold by resellers. We do not sell direct. So all of those of you who know the traditional model, where you deal with a vendor, you worry that your leads can be sold directly by them and undermine your investment in the market, you don't need to worry about that. You also do not need to worry as a reseller that we are going to crowd the market with lots of resellers. This is an exclusive club. We are still recruiting. There is plenty of growth, but places at the table to become a reseller will not remain open. So for everyone joining us, welcome, and we hope you listen closely and consider to join our initiative and be part of the success story going forward. The FlashStart approach is very simple. Any router can be connected with the FlashStart cloud, and by configuring the FlashStart cloud, you generate safe web searching, meaning that there is no new hardware to be bought. There is no software to be deployed. This is a very simple, low-cost approach, easy to deploy, fast to deploy. We're going to be showing you a number of those features, today. The cloud itself is a multi-tenant dashboard providing a service for the resellers to be able to manage it as a service, and for end users, they have some ability to enter the multi-tenant dashboard and configure things which you can allow or not allow depending on the type of customers you have. So that's what we do, that's what we're focused on, and that's where our investments go. So I just want to make a couple of comparisons here. I want to talk just for a second about complementary characteristics, complementary features with MikroTik, and I'm picking MikroTik as one particular router vendor, which is so well resold by those on the line today and end users joining us today. It is low cost, it is value oriented, it is feature rich, it is an excellent piece of technology. And that is exactly the same value set we share in terms of developments here of our capabilities, our pricing, and what we're trying to do. We are also not trying to replicate features in the routers, MikroTik or any other. In fact, we go out of our way to help you leverage and combine the features of the router with the FlashStart cloud. You can position that and think of that as a UTM device, but you didn't buy any hardware, no additional hardware. You made better use of the hardware you have on the ground, your capabilities as a reseller, and as an end user, you're reusing your investments rather than replicating buying expensive hardware to deliver the the security benefits to create safe web surfing. That's what this is all about. No jailbreak, fast setup, making it very easy to get the benefits. Let's go on. This is all implemented in a cloud. It is a Anycast cloud, meaning that the cloud itself is a highly professional, highly available cloud, which has been, which is the right word here, not certified, but it is announced as a set of global IP addresses visible across multiple cloud access points, and the system itself will find the best connection for you wherever you are in the world. And if through some unforeseen event, from a data center failure to an earthquake, you lose that access point, the underlying network automatically will connect you to the next best contact point. The cloud itself has been highly engineered, and we continue to aggressively expand that. Last week we opened Seattle data center. July we're opening a new data center in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
by the end of June, and in August we are planning to open Lebanon, Beirut, to better serve the Middle East area.
Yeah, excellent. So lots going on. Okay, stay tuned. We're moving fast. Let's keep going. So one more slide after this, and we're going to get down to the demo. We are protecting everyone behind the FlashStart cloud. So look at the diagram on the left. We are protecting the PCs. We are protecting the iPad. We are protecting the phones themselves that are using that Wi-Fi. Okay. Of course, if you're on the 4G, that's a different matter, and we can also talk about that. But in the workplace, in schools, there is an obligation for creating a safe networking experience, whether it's to get a more productive workplace, whether it's in terms of protecting people, whether it's in terms of protecting against threats like ransomware, like phishing, like application attacks. And on the right-hand side, I'm subdividing here just briefly into two categories, thinking about the threats, thinking about protecting end users from the threats of malware. There is no one who wouldn't wish to have very good protection from malware. And consider that there are so many different sources of malware. It is a multi-stage defense approach that people adopt. And we're making it really easy to put an excellent level of defense for any size company here. Okay. And secondly, as well as defending against malware, the possibility to create strategies for defending different types of communities in different ways. Let me give you an example. Distraction through social media in the workplace. Another example, highly sensitive users in schools of children, vulnerable children, must be given a very high level of defense against particular things. The payroll department, the legal department need to be given a heightened sensitivity of defense against certain types of attacks on data or getting access to financial information. Okay, these are all catered for in use cases. We're not going to focus too much, or probably at all, on those today. And the regulatory things aside, we're going to focus on these hot new features. Okay, everything we're doing is GDPR compliant, which is the leading privacy standard in the world, and no one is going to come into trouble outside of Europe or in Europe or outside of Europe for complying with, I think, what is very clearly an excellent privacy standard being set that people will appreciate. So one last slide before the demo. Capabilities. On the left-hand side, content capabilities. Rich automatic classes of content you can enable. The ability to customize this in a really easy format that's non-technical, very efficient for the smallest through to the very largest types of deployments. Automatic categorization within 24 hours, search, domain discovery. And then on top of that, the ability to protect the malware, automatically defend against network-facing threats coming from browsing to the internet. Quite a dynamic, changing market there. And then coming to new features, very important. The new ultra-fast activation wizard for MikroTik. We're going to look at that. This is all about first setup. The ability to use our new SSL certificate. So as HTTPS web pages are blocked, there is no confusing messages presented to the end user. Very important.
It was very requested.
Yeah, heavily requested.
I think that during the last 12 months webinar, I think that at least 100.5 dealers requested the feature. So we took your request into a serious consideration, and roughly 2 months ago, we finally released the SSL certification authority to avoid browser noisy messages.
Latency testing, looking at the performance from your particular country and your location to our cloud access point. Real-time analysis and debugger, we're going to look at that. And I think we might leave off the demo for today because it's quite specific, but the ability to take very large volumes, for example, 2,000 buses, and be able to synchronize different profiles across them and change things very efficiently. So let me stop there, and let's say we're going to start looking at demonstrations now, and we're going to take you through the experience, and I'll just let Francesco get set up here.
Okay.
As he's going to take the screen, we're going to take you through the experience of becoming a new user of the system and going through the activation process.
Thank you. Let's start with the live configuration. We have prepared a working MikroTik. We are using an RB 951 or 961. I don't remember at the moment the model. Consider that the whole demonstration will be done live. So something during live demonstration, even for Microsoft, for Cisco, or for whatever else goes wrong. So finger crossed, and let's start our demonstration. It's quite normal that when you show things live, something doesn't work. Okay, so let's start. Okay, sharing our screen. Could I please have in chat just a feedback if you can see our screen right now? Okay, please. Okay, send us a nice feedback in order to. Okay, not yet. It should come in second. Can see. Okay, full screen. Okay, it should arrive now. It should arrive in a few seconds to your PCs or mobile.
Great.
Okay,
thank
now,
you.
Okay, just a confirmation from Andrea. Andrea, ci vedi? Yes, okay, good. Fine. Okay, so demonstration is very simple. We will start with the first activation, and then we'll immediately switch into Winbox platform. Do you know Winbox platform? I think that we will be flooded by yes. Do you know Winbox platform? Is Winbox a useful tool for everybody? Okay, fine, fantastic. Okay, I was joking. So let's start. Okay, let's start. Okay, let me log in with a test account. It's very simple to register. Everybody can start a free 30 days trial. Okay, we have chosen English language, but we have up to 5 different languages. Okay,
so we're logging in as if we were the reseller here to our account.
Yeah,
and we're going to look at bringing on board a new end user.
Yeah, fine. This is our customer area where you can manage your license, your profile, your invoices, your order, and your support request. Let us switch to the filter management area. So system should immediately propose the first activation wizard, the first activation process. Okay, so first of all, let's choose our brand, MikroTik. Okay, and then now system ask if using the manual configuration or the new automatic configuration. Okay, new auth feature, automatic configuration. This is very, very easy. System ask to give again FlashStart registration password. It's just a confirmation to understand if we are the right user or not. I repeat my access password. Continue.
For the reseller account, not for the device itself.
Yeah. Okay. And now this is a MikroTik standard router-OS script. It's an option, but I strongly suggest to mark add automatic redirection of DNS queries. So if some user jokes and change DNS from FlashStart to Google, for example, to 8888 and 8844, system script automatically will bound outgoing DNS connection to FlashStart. Copy the script. Okay. Continue. Okay. Now let's follow the instruction. Connect to MikroTik. Okay, let me split the screen into two columns. Okay, can you see everything here? Could you please send me a feedback now? If you can see correctly the Winbox user dashboard.
Yep, good.
Okay, so thank you. New terminal. Okay, and now right click, past configuration, finished. What's happened? And the connection test. Okay, now FlashStart. Okay, FlashStart is waiting for the router authentication. In the meanwhile, it takes a few seconds. Now, what did the script do? System script. So the automatic configuration created an authentication script, and automatic configuration scheduled every minute a synchronization process. If you see now, the run count is still 0. So we need to wait to next minute in order to trigger out the process. And the system, did you remember? We have already chosen the DNS firewall redirection. System create under firewall, not two rules. Okay, so the outgoing 53 DNS request will be automatically forced and bound to FlashStart DNS.
And I see the count just moved to 1 there as you were talking.
Yeah, system script count 1. Congratulations, your network is connected. Close. System automatically. Okay, I can I send a good feedback? Everyone is okay. Send a good feedback. Okay, and now I see my synchronization IP, and the status has moved to green. Last synchronization. We are in Italy, and the time is 11.28. So now, David, let's customize our blocking page, and then we will go live.
So just before we do that, to recap, so we've taken our own MikroTik router, we've configured and set that up to it with the FlashStart cloud. Everything behind it is now going to benefit from the way we can set this up, and we're going to look at some of the tools you can use to test and verify the experience you're going to get with the FlashStart cloud in your location. I'm going to start with latency tests.
Yeah, okay. So let's start latency test. Just to make a global test. Okay, let me put. It's arriving. Let me put Google DNS, because I would like to test the latency from the measure, from the biggest Google data center in the world that are used to be located into major internet exchanges. So let me type 88888 custom IP, and let me test the latency toward Google data center. Okay, run test. It takes a while. It depends on traffic, but it should stay within 1 minute, because it needs to connect to each cloud and to complete the latency test from our global Anycast network to Google data center. But you can test. We encourage you to test through your IP address in order as the default value.
Yeah. So what you'll find is that as you make the test, you will, if you were to research it, see that we co-locate at many of the locations which are used by some of the world's leading cloud companies. In that way, we're riding on the back of the brand damage that will be suffered by those companies if an outage were to occur.
Okay.
And we also know that the best improvements in network connections are going to come at those kind of data centers, and we want those to have immediate benefits for you. So, we're a niche player, but we're trying to ride on the back of all the innovations out there which can bring you better performance and more reliability. That's what it's all about, at the best possible price.
Okay. If you see, let's comment out together the results. 0 millisecond from Frankfurt data center.
It almost looks like a fix, actually.
Yeah, you can test. 0 millisecond to Miami in Florida, 0 millisecond for North America, Seattle data center, 1 millisecond from Singapore, 1 millisecond from Johannesburg in South Africa, and 6 millisecond from Milan. Italy is the slowest one. By the way, 6 millisecond, it's a long time. Now, let's try to surf with FlashStart, okay? So
actually, let me just say, so any pingable address will work on that tool, okay? So just go in and ping it and check your experience.
So now let me change DNS. We are on a test machine, so we have manually to change our DNS. Okay, just a moment. I will finish in a few seconds to change DNS. It's a test machine. I am not surfing behind MikroTik now, so I need to simulate.
So just as Francesco, changes that. We talked a bit about the choice of data centers and letting you ping them to see that. We have a program continuously for rolling out additional data centers and deploying in the appropriate dual points of contact with firewalls behind them to bring high availability service at each data center.
Okay, so now let's try to surf protected. Let me recall, for example, Google.it.
Just to see it's working.
Okay, Google is working. But now let me try. Can I look to some hot girl pictures? Let me try. Playboy.com or do you prefer YouPorn?
You do.
Playboy.
You do or
it's lighter. Playboy.com. Okay. Now system blocks query.
So just to say, we didn't show it, but it's set up for now blocking porn. Okay. We're just trying to go into some of the more detailed features here. So just take us on that. If you want to enable porn for particular user groups, that's absolutely fine. Okay, but that's fully customizable.
This item, and this item are fully customized. You can also make appear your company name if you play with end user. It's possible to report a bug if you find some false or a positive result. And if you see, we are blocking an HTTPS site, so we alter the normal DNS resolution, but the browser didn't send any complaint. Why? Because we have already installed the HTTPS FlashStart certification authority system. It's very easy. You can import with a double click, you can download. It's a normal certificate. It's a self-made certificate. You can manually install, or if you manage large environments, such as Active Directory environments, you can simply deploy massively using Active Directory group policy. It's quite well described here. You create a policy and you deploy at next user logon the certificate to everybody. Another nice feature, and then I will pass the voice back to David, that he is native English, I'm Italian. I'm trying to do my best with English. Okay, so Google. Google is working, but let me try to search for pornography contents, because later you will see, together with David, that FlashStart is also a Google safe search filter mandatory plugin.
It's an important use case for schools, that one.
For school.
Free, and many businesses use
free
that.
sex, porn,
pictures,
search, and the search is blocked. And says search is active, the browser is in Italian, sorry, but people cannot disable, because we natively integrate Google APIs.
Yeah. So let me just say that. So for the smart user who goes and changes the DNS in his stub on a device,
it's protected.
That doesn't make a difference.
No. Yeah. Let me try with Bing. Bing is a quite wide spread browser. Free, same pattern, free search hot, free search porn, pictures. Okay, so let me translate from Italian. Bing says there are some restrictions. Please contact your network administrator to change restrictions.
Yes.
Same for image.
Yeah.
And we are very proud to announce that we are in partnership with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is widely spread in United Kingdom in schools and in education environment. It's a new search engine that takes care about privacy, and we are the first content filter which
respects it and integrates it,
which has natively integrated. Okay, let me try the same search: free sex, porn, pictures, and DuckDuckGo should block the query. Okay, no result find. Same for image. Okay, image search blocked by safe search. Okay. Here we are. Let's deeply see the dashboard. Everyone can see. Everyone
so
has any questions for us?
Francesco, you know, on the block page.
Yeah.
If we just go back to look at the blocking, 1 second.
Okay, block page.
So one of the things that is a reseller that you would prefer to do is, rather than show our brand FlashStart, is to have your brand showing to your customer. Yeah, it's really easy to do that. Do we have a moment maybe to show that?
Yeah. Now.
Okay, let's do it now. Yeah.
So we can customize 3 different items: the logo, your company slogan, and a nice picture. The company's logo, system accept, PNG image, browse. I have prepared a fake company logo, just company logo, double click, and the system will put online. Embed the logo here, the slogan, browse. So I can embed the slogan here. Company slogan. Click to confirm. Okay. You can also put a nice
a different picture there.
Maybe a Polish woman that blocks your access.
So you know, as a reseller, we're helping you to create a service which you can run as a service with your brand on it. Or you can, of course, be selling this out to the end user and let them run it within that IT function. It's a different way of doing it, but both approaches are very easily supported. And in that case, maybe the end user wants to have their brand on it to reinforce their own company. Okay.
Can we quickly see the dashboard, the main function?
Yes. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
So we've gone there into some of the hot features, but just for those of you who are joining us without a background, I'll make some explanation of this. So we have the concept of setting up different profiles within different customers, or using common profiles across a range of customers. So a good place to introduce it would be if I just click up here on the filter trials, and you can see here some predefined things for profiles and Wi-Fi headquarters, branches, management teams, public access points for the marketing group. And these kind of people have different profiles and different requirements, okay? For each of these profiles, it's very easy to set them up. So we've got a filter trial profile here, okay? So when I click onto lists, I'm going to see what is set up for blocking in this profile here, okay? And you can see that it is very intuitive. I have 11 categories. Underneath the categories here, we have drop-down lists. If I click on dangerous, I see gambling. I see peer-to-peer and file sharing. I see proxy service. And I can enable and disable any of these at the touch of a button. Okay, very simple. And I can, free time is stuff like games and what have you. I can disable the entire contents of that category, which if I open that up, you can see has got quite a lot of stuff in there at the touch of a button. Okay, and when I make these changes within here, they apply to the filtering trial profile on all of its communities. Yeah, so it's quite useful if you've got schools and you want to have it for under 11-year-olds. If you're dealing with sales departments and want to have a common profile there and apply it across all sorts of different groups of the same company, locations in the same company. Down here, we've also got things like social networking, and at the moment we have social networks as one big group, and then help you to blacklist and whitelist aspects within that. So, for example, you might blacklist all social networks, and then within the whitelist down here, you may allow LinkedIn.com. Okay. So just type in LinkedIn.com for me there, Francesco.
With a way, yeah.
Yeah. You've got a Y in LinkedIn. Linked, LINKED.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, ED.
ED. Oh. Okay.
Can you click? Okay. LinkedIn.com.
Okay. So we've got advanced analysis switched on here, and if we just add that into the profile in the whitelist, we can see that's actually added in automatically for us. Okay, so we can also, just to continue that example, I can go to schedule block, and for social networks, we can create particular times of the day and days of the week when you can see or not see that content. Okay, so I think you'll get the concept there. So from 9 o'clock in the morning to lunchtime, let's make that 12:30. I'm going to add a block every day, which will apply now to social networks. So one of the interesting points we had here as we developed this, and this will be interesting, I think, for all users, end users, and resellers, is social networks is a very interesting use case that caused a lot of wasted time. People want to be able to use it in breaks. People want to be able to use it in the lunch hour, and we're all grown ups, and respecting our flexibility and the fact that we give more much more into work environments often than we get paid for. So, you know, we want some flexibility. Now, this allows you to do that. But of course, it's very easy to see that you could just navigate from your smartphone onto a 4G network and avoid all this. And one of the very important learning points is that while that remains a possibility, people in fact do not abuse the situation. Your good employees do not abuse the situation and go off their PC client onto the smartphone, if only because it becomes very obvious what's going on. It's much more obvious than hiding it in the window of your machine. And people will oblige and follow the rules being set down and recognize, you know, it's important to respect the company rules. Okay, so I'll just close that out. So I'm not going to say anything else around the lists. There's a geo-blocking list here as well, where you can take the same approach and block out certain countries of the world and undefined IP addresses. Okay, highly associated with malware. There's a reporting section for creating your reports on particular time windows. You can look at your top talkers. You can look at you know, what's been blocked. You can importantly look at malware that's been blocked. I'm going to click on malware threats blocked. Actually, we use live data, beg pardon, source data continuously in this, so I never quite know what I'm going to find when I click malware blocked in the trial data. Okay, that's not a very rich set of data I'm looking at here, but okay, so we got some stuff in the malware community there. Okay.
Domain blocked. Go down. I think it's infected host.
Let's have a look at infected host.
Okay. And detail. Whenever
that's what I was going to look for. Actually,
yeah.
So we're now looking at websites that are infected, and they may be transitory. A lot of malware gets injected into the website against the owner's knowledge. It stays there for a short time and then comes back out. So we detect the insertion and then the removal of that malware in real time. And that's part of the service we're providing you. So we are actually trawling through quite a rich set of data here to generate the reports. I'll just let that run for a few seconds more. As I say, we haven't.
It's a trial. It's a trial, so it contains a lot of.
It could be a lot of data here. Okay.
Yeah, it's a trial. We use a trial every day.
But as an end user or a reseller, you can give free trials of this or benefit from a free trial, and you'll see the actual results of infected hosts. And when you find this and you see the details of some of the stuff that you're blocking, it is extremely focusing of the mind as to what's out there and how it's impacting your particular situation. This is taking a long time. There must be a lot of data here. So So this will run to a conclusion. But for the sake of the test here, I'm going to skip that. So forgive me. You go and look at that. You'll find it's there. It works. Okay. So the listing, geo-blocking reports. We can set up automated reports to run at particular time points and schedules to go to different users, PDFs, one-offs. As an end user, if you enjoy what's called a full service, a full multi-tenant service, you'll be able to come and look at this. If maybe you're being used by an ISP to a home, then the way it'll be configured wouldn't allow you to come in and configure this kind of stuff unless the ISP decided to grant this to maybe very advanced users in the home. Okay, but this has now popped up, and we can actually see some details of sites that have been infected with something. Okay, if I click here into details, we get the specifics. Okay,
these are true data because we get some nice data from some test pilots.
Okay, so some interesting stuff there to start working on.
Blocked by category.
At the bottom of this, I was going to say, domains blocked. That's an interesting one. Domains allowed gives you top talkers. Okay, so you can see what's going on there, maybe for some optimization. So there's some very useful reports here to create for your end users if you're a reseller and as an end user to benefit from. Okay, so there's so much more I could talk about, but I'm going to kind of curtail it there, I think. Yeah, let's do that. So shall I go back to the presentation because there's a few other points to add.
Yeah.
Francesco, if you just want to bring me, if you want to navigate out of the front end here, and we'll just come back to.
So let's stop sharing and then
back to the slides. Just a few slides to
and
finish.
then yeah, let's come back to the presentation. Okay.
No, good. Back there.
Okay, can you see our slides now? Okay, we'll answer to the question. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We took a note about TeamViewer blocking, P2P, peer-to-peer blocking, and DNS overreach TTPS. We'll answer
shortly,
just as soon as the presentation will be finished.
So I just want to show a few things. We're about making this technology very accessible. Not just about price, but it's also about letting people test this stuff free. And here we've got some. These are business cards, slightly larger, the business card. It's got our brand on it. It could be the reseller's brand. It got some general description about what we do in terms of blocking and protection. And then it's got a PIN number. So there's a PIN number here. You enter that in the tool. It'll give some free trial for the end user. And for the reseller, if you're handing these out, then it locks the trial back to you. You see this in your dashboard. You see people activating it. You see that they've activated correctly and they're using that, and therefore you can assist them in their trial process. Okay, the extension of that is then to, of course, if you're actually shipping routers, is to put one on every box. You can give them out at trade shows, but put one on every box going out the door. There's nothing to lose. These come free for those resellers who are investing in 500 coin packs and above. I won't explain that for the moment, but you can generate as many thousands of these as you want. We will provide you the PDFs ready to print. You print them, you stick them, you stack them, you stuff them, whatever your particular model is. Here is one on the side of your Ubiquiti box, and when the pin's entered, it will lock back to you. If you're a reseller selling to another reseller, selling to an end user, that's fine as well. The end user or the reseller will finally enter their own intermediary and lock the supply chain in this as well. Okay, this supports multi-level distribution features in our business model. Okay, automatically. So as an ISP, some very short words, the ISP industry is very special. We're delighted to have quite a number of ISPs, and we're really proud of actually offering our ISP services under the brand names of some very big operators such as Vodafone and Telefonica in some regional business-to-business projects. But here's an example of deployment of FlashStart without any configuration of the router. Okay, so you get a cut down experience getting content filter, malware filter that is dictated by the ISP's choices. Maybe they have a family filter, a light filter, no filter, an adult filter, whatever it is. And this works as follows. To take an example of a residential user, you point them to your ISP cache. Within the cache itself, you decide with your customer, with your subscriber, whether they're going to use the family filter, a light filter, or something else. And you then just point them to a pair of DNS IP addresses that we'll supply to you. Okay. So no configuration tool, very fast deployment, ideal. Also for SMEs, yeah. The other deployment model that we work with ISPs, I mean, there are several, but the two most common here is typically a business-to-business scenario. It could be a very advanced user at home. where the router is configured, like we showed earlier on the demo, and that points to some custom configurations set up, like I was just going through setting up the filter demo, and then you get the full multi-tenant benefit, you get the full content filter, malware filter, and additionally, you get the customization, the full reporting features as well that we just looked at, okay? So, lots of flexibility, trying to make it very easily and very affordable, and something that fits well with your business model. We're selling this as licenses, annual licenses, and we have models that reflect very different situations and end users. Schools and staff priced it heavily discounted fees for that particular part of our country infrastructures. It is a higher pricing for business where we price on nominal users. If you're pricing hotels, we're pricing on hotel rooms. We even have campsites, we have restaurants, ISPs based upon QPS. So different measurement models that work for different situations of the end user. Now, the subtle point here is that if you're a reseller on the call, you don't want to be buying licenses which you can only sell to a school and then find you've got to supply to restaurants and hotels. So we've taken away that entire complexity, and you buy from us coins. It's a credit system. You buy packs for them, maybe 250, maybe 500, maybe 1,000. And what the coins never expire. You can buy any license, and when you sell to a particular customer, the first one's a hotel, you just allocate so many coins. The second one is a school, you allocate some coins for that particular license, and so on. The more coins you buy from us, the cheaper things get. Okay, so you get benefits of scale, you get the effects of distribution in the industry, all the normal economics apply that you would see and that you would expect to find benefit from you as a reseller.
We are planning a new how to sell a content filter for MikroTik for the middle of July. So we will explain in details
more about that.
How does coin model work.
Privacy and data handling. I just want to say again, this is becoming so important for all those in Europe. It's a mandatory business standard, and for the rest of the world, this is high up on most countries' agendas now. The ability to respect and ask for permission to use data, and the ability to handle that data in a specific way. And GDPR is the European standard, and it is a very well thought through standard, and it will do no one any harm to know that when you sell FlashStart, you automatically comply with that standard. Very important. So we're gonna conclude the webinar at this point and just ask you to please, if you would be so kind, to take part in a small survey and give us some feedback.
And in the meanwhile, we'll be glad to answer your question. We have already three technical questions, very interesting coming that came from you. So if you can take some second to answer, and please send any questions into the chat.
Yeah.
Let's start with how to block TeamViewer.
How to block TeamViewer?
TeamViewer, okay.
Okay.
Tessos. I don't know where you're from, but Tessos. He asked about blocking TeamViewer.
Yeah. Okay.
So TeamViewer is included in the ICT, the IT category, but I wouldn't suggest to block the entire category. Simply, you can go to the blacklist, to your personal blacklist, and simple type teamviewer.com. FlashStart Cloud will only block TeamViewer rather than the whole.
And TeamViewer actually is a DNS-based application, is it? Okay,
because it relies on DNS.
Okay,
it relies on Right. Solution. We can block it.
So anything that's using DNS based, whether it's an application on the phone or a desktop application, we can work with the block.
The application, it should work. I can try, and I can send some answer later this evening, but it should work.
Yeah.
It should work.
A related question we often are asked is around blocking things like torrent, which is not a DNS based service, peer-to-peer. So it's very much in our minds because you're faced with delivering a service or satisfying a number of user requests for the internet experience you want to create. So used with router technologies, and I will pick on MikroTik as an example. You can combine the features of FlashStart with settings in MikroTik to effectively block torrent as a peer-to-peer service. Okay, so achieving the desired outcome. I referred right at the beginning to creating this kind of UTM-like feature by combining FlashStart with the router. And that's our vision. That's what we're trying to help you create at prices which are totally unachievable from the competition selling UTMs.
Yeah, right. It is possible also to review the webinar tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll send the registration link with a nice offer that David is going to explain in a few minutes. Just another question. Mike asked how to prevent DNS over HTTPS, because some browser supplier are offering this proposition. Let me explain. DNS over HTTPS, it's a new way to maintain a DNS query private. And for example, Firefox, starting from the new 63 version, 63 release level, has just introduced this feature, but it's an optional. FlashStart can block, if you choose anonymous proxy, can block this behavior, because now the best way is blocking DNS over HTTPS. In this way, Firefox or any other browser using this kind of technology will automatically revert back to the standard DNS. So we can prevent user to surf anonymously and overriding the normal DNS resolution. If we block DNS over HTTPS URL, simply the browser will revert back to the normal DNS resolution.
It's a great question, actually.
Yeah. We should create an FAQ. Thank you, Mike. Where are you from, Mike? Just a curiosity.
USA. Okay. Hey, Mike, you're having a late night, Mike.
It's night in the USA. Good night.
Welcome. Very welcome.
Please continue answering to the webinar, to our survey. It's very important to improve our contents, our proposition, and our technology. It's very important to improve this kind of moments on which we share our experiences. So if you can reserve an answer, we would be really glad to get in touch with you and to understand if our proposition and our slide and our demonstration is okay or quite okay. So we appreciate a lot your answers. Thank you.
So was there a third question there as well?
We can download the video, the slide. Yes. Even slide will be okay. Another question from Steve. Okay.
How do we compare DNS?
How do you compare yourself?
Steve,
we cannot.
Thank you.
Yes. David, it's your field.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look, do you know?
Please continue to answer in the midwife. Thank you.
We can start with price. I mean, we're often 80% cheaper than OpenDNS. I think OpenDNS did some wonderful things in the early days, but they have very openly gone after the corporate sector, and they've made themselves unaffordable to SMEs. But so price is a big point. the simplicity of which we are packaging, it's one price for everything at the moment. There's some features coming later in the year, there will be some additional prices on, but it's one price for everything. It's a complicated pricing structure with OpenDNS, and especially around the reporting features, so you can actually get data to do things and understand the problems. So OpenDNS, they've moved to telling you what your problems are at quite a low price point, but be able to do anything about it and actually, create the kind of environments you want to create. You got to pay more for that. So there we go. And we're at a completely different size to OpenDNS. We're a European-based, privately held, debt-free technology company. We're around about 50 people. We're big enough to be credible, but we are small enough to be hungry and responsive to what people want and the changes you want. This is a large part, a very technical community about exploiting very good routers at low prices with this kind of technology and other dependencies for creating security and providing a service very competitively into end users. And for end users expecting to get the benefit of that, that's not what OpenDNS are trying to achieve anymore. They're very much up at the corporate space. Okay, so there's lots of details and lots of small features about what we do that could also be very important for people, but price, attitude, simplicity.
Just to add, I think quite important stuff. OpenDNS was acquired 4 years ago, 4 summers ago, by Cisco. And if you buy OpenDNS or if you resell OpenDNS, they will try in any way to also pass contacts to Cisco to sell router equipment. I think that most of you are MikroTik's distributor, reseller, so we want to protect MikroTik, and we want to protect our installation. OpenDNS is not as before an independent content filter. We are independent. We work with MikroTik, Ubiquity. We have a strong partnership with Bintech in Germany, and in Spain with Teldat. But we are router independent, so no hardware offer, no big distributor offer will arrive to your customer. We respect the channel. I think that it's a very important way to choose an independent content filter. We don't push to buy FlashStart. You can buy what you want, but feel free when you choose to select some independent content filter supplier, not a content filter supplier chained to a router hardware brand. If you sell another competitor router brand such as MikroTik. Can you please continue answering to some questions to our survey? If you can, we would be very glad to receive your feedbacks. They are very important for us. If you have any other question, please use the chat, and we will be very happy to answer.
Yeah. Not too many questions actually in the webinar today. So let me move to tell you about a commercial offer that we've got for you. If you will proceed from the webinar to test and buy the FlashStart service, then we'll make a full 25% off any purchases placed by the end of June. Okay.
We'll send the link to request dealer prices and end user prices.
Yes. So let me add 2 things. If you're an end user and you'll qualify for that, you'll buy from a reseller, and we will credit the reseller with the additional to allow them to pass that discount to the end user without any impact on the margins. Okay. And if you're, of course, the reseller, then we'll sell the stuff to you cheaper. So everyone wins. We encourage you to make an evaluation and check it does exactly what he says it does on the tin, as they say.
Okay. Could I ask you just a questions? Could I ask you if every one of you has already implemented a content filter, a DNS content filter, or if there is someone who at the moment hasn't already implemented a content filter? Just to share some ideas and just to underline your position around DNS content filter. Thank you. If you can share in the chat, we will be really glad, to comment out the rest, okay? Feedbacks are arriving.
So just the feedback's coming in. If you're a reseller and you like what you're hearing, one of the things that we can help you do, because we've all got tremendously busy schedules, is that we can help you promote it to your local market, provide you content, and come online to run, say, a webinar delivering content for you. We'll try and do it in your local language. It'll be very focused on your particular market, and we have a lot of success with that. So we'll provide a process to help you run it, to help you take it out to your customers, to help you capture the people who register, and then actually run the whole thing for you. Okay, so minimal effort. We will need to understand who you want to target, of course. But that works very well. We've got lots of content to help with trade shows. We've got lots of content to help with proposals. We've got, of course, the ability to set up lots of free trials and the ability to use those cards and ship them out with every product, or hand them out at trade shows to help you generate leads.
Consider that if you add a content filter option to your MikroTik installation, it increases value, loyalty, and business, because every year your customer will continue paying for the service, and every year you will get a business revenue. Quentin, certainly I've done a ton with resolving node at the server on the MikroTik to server router base prior to the last DNS based content filter. I had exposure towards the DNS, in its early days.
Quentin,
Quentin.
Thanks, Quentin.
Give
us a try. Offer it to your, use it within your business. Offer it to your customer base, free, and try it out.
Consider you can see the price request link in the chat. It's just above Quentin questions. If you click on it, if you fill with your data, system will display your price together with the activation of a free 30 days trial. So the trial is also included when you start to ask price list for your channel. Consider that prices takes care about country and country zone. So
GDP situation.
So we think we understand your country quite well. We often make some research about cost of life, about revenue, about employment, and so on. So I think that our prices are really
very aggressive. It's very aggressive
for any country, of the world.
Okay.
Thank you very much. If you do not have any other question, I think that we can close. Tomorrow morning you will receive an SDM with the video rewatch proposal, slide, price request, and your offer. Next month you will be soon invited to our how to sell content filter strategy.
Or please request a personal webinar for your community you'd like to sell into.
The survey will be still alive for another 5 minutes. If you can, please complete. We just miss a few friends to answer, and we would be very glad to receive your feedbacks, both positive and negative. No problem. We are here to learn, to grow, and to improve. Thank you very much for your time and for your patience.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.